The story of the Borley Rectory is filled with ghostly nuns, phantom bells, and eerie messages on the walls. It begins in the quiet village of Borley in Essex, where a peculiar house was built on the site of an old monastery in the 19th century. The house, known as the Borley Rectory, would go on to gain a sinister reputation as the most haunted house in England. It was plagued by a wide range of paranormal phenomena. Witnesses reported sightings of a phantom nun, said to be the spirit of a forbidden love affair between a nun and a monk from a nearby convent. But it didn't stop there. The rectory's tower was known for its ghostly bells ringing at odd hours, even when no one was there to ring them. Messages and strange writings, often in Latin, would appear on the walls, interpreted as attempts by the spirits to communicate. Objects moved on their own, sometimes violently, and disembodied voices and whispers echoed through the halls. One of the most significant investigations of Borley Rectory was led by Harry Price, a renowned paranormal researcher in the 1930s. Price documented his findings in the book The Most Haunted House in England, which only added to the house's enigmatic reputation. In 1939, tragedy struck. A devastating fire swept through the Borley Rectory, causing severe damage. And in 1944, what remained of the once infamous Borley Rectory was finally demolished. So what happened at the Borley Rectory? Was it truly the most haunted house in England, or were these stories exaggerated? Well, that remains a topic of debate among skeptics and believers alike. But one thing is for sure, the Borley Rectory continues to captivate the imaginations of those who dare to explore the unexplained. This story revolves around the Smurl family, who, in the late 1970s and early 1980s, claimed to have endured a relentless and terrifying ordeal in their Pennsylvania home. It all began innocently enough when the Smurl family moved into their new house, hoping for a fresh start, but soon strange occurrences began to plague them. The family reported hearing inexplicable noises, feeling cold spots, and witnessing objects moving on their own. As if that wasn't horrifying enough, the Smurls claimed to have been physically attacked by unseen forces, with scratches and bite marks appearing on their bodies. But what made the Smurl hauntings truly terrifying was their belief that they were dealing with a malevolent and demonic presence. The family's pleas for help attracted the attention of paranormal investigators, who documented their experiences in a book called The Haunted. During these investigations, eerie phenomena were reportedly captured on film and audio recordings, lending credibility to the family's claims. As the haunting intensified, the Smurls turned to their faith for help. A Catholic priest performed multiple exorcisms on the house in an attempt to rid it of the malevolent presence. For a while, it seemed as though the exorcisms had worked. The activity in the house subsided and the family found temporary relief. But the story doesn't end there. The Smurl hauntings left an indelible mark on the family, and their ordeal continued to haunt them for years. Skeptics questioned the authenticity of their claims, while believers saw the Smurls as victims of a genuine paranormal nightmare. So, what really happened in the Smurl house? Were they truly tormented by demonic forces, or was it all a product of overactive imaginations? That's a question that remains unanswered to this day. Beginning in 1817 in the rural town of Adams, Tennessee, where the Bell family lived a peaceful life on their farm. But that peace was shattered when strange occurrences began to plague the Bells. The family began hearing unexplained knocking sounds, followed by whispers and eerie voices in the dead of night. The patriarch of the Bell family, John Bell, bore the brunt of the spirit's wrath. He was subjected to physical attacks, including choking and bruising, by an unseen entity. What made this haunting truly terrifying was the spirit's claim to be the Bell Witch, a malevolent entity that seemed to know the family's deepest secrets. Word of the Bell Witch's reign of terror spread, attracting the attention of paranormal investigators and even future President Andrew Jackson, who experienced the witch's wrath firsthand during his visit to the Bell farm. As the torment continued, the Bell Witch's vengeance knew no bounds. It allegedly took responsibility for the untimely death of John Bell in 1820, claiming to have poisoned him. The Bell Witch's malevolence continued even after John Bell's death, but eventually, the entity's torment began to wane. Today, the legend of the Bell Witch endures, and the Bell Witch Cave in Adams, Tennessee, is considered one of the most haunted places in America. Skeptics question the authenticity of the Bell Witch legend, while believers regard it as a chilling account of supernatural vengeance. So what really happened to the Bell family, and who, or what, was the Bell Witch. The truth remains elusive, buried deep within the journals of history. This one is a chilling tale from the hills of West Virginia, the story of the Greenbrier Ghost. Get ready for a spine-tingling narrative filled with love, death, and an eerie revenge from beyond the grave. Our story begins in the late 1800s in the small community of Greenbrier County, West Virginia, where the tranquil Appalachian hills concealed a dark secret. At the heart of our story is Elva Zona Heaster, a young woman of grace and beauty. And then there's Edward Shue, a newcomer to the area whose arrival would set in motion a series of events that would shock the community. Elva and Edward fell in love and quickly married, but their happiness was short-lived. Tragically, just a few months after their marriage, Elva Heaster Shue was found dead in her home under mysterious circumstances. Edward Shue's behavior following Elva's death raised eyebrows. He insisted on dressing her body for burial himself, even keeping other mourners away. Suspicion fell on Elva's mother, Mary Jane Heaster, who had a gut feeling that something was amiss, further fueled by the results of the autopsy. It was here that the tale takes a truly eerie turn. According to legend, Elva's ghost appeared to her mother in a dream, revealing the horrifying truth. Mary Jane Heaster's dream led her to re-examine her daughter's body, along with the findings of the autopsy, and upon closer inspection, she discovered signs of foul play. Armed with her supernatural vision and the evidence from the autopsy, Mary Jane testified at Edward Shue's trial, accusing him of her daughter's murder. The jury was convinced, and in 1897, Edward Shue was found guilty of murder, making this the only known case in U.S. history where the testimony of a ghost, combined with autopsy evidence, led to a conviction. Elva Zona Heaster Shue's grave in West Virginia has become a popular tourist attraction, a testament to the enduring power of her story. The Greenbrier Ghost case has left a lasting mark on the world of the paranormal. Prepare to be captivated by the spine-tingling tale of the Enfield poltergeist, a haunting that gripped a quiet suburb in North London during the 1970s. This is a story of unexplained phenomena, eerie voices, and a battle between the living and the dead. Our story takes place in the borough of Enfield, London, where the Hodgson family resided in a seemingly ordinary home. It all began in August 1977 when the Hodgson family started experiencing bizarre and terrifying events within their home. Janet Hodgson, an 11-year-old girl, seemed to be the epicenter of the paranormal activity. Objects moved on their own, furniture levitated, and strange knocking and tapping sounds echoed through the house. Janet claimed to be possessed by the spirit of a former resident named Bill Wilkins, who had died in the house years earlier. Paranormal investigators, including Maurice Grosse and Guy Lyon Playfair, began documenting the events and conducting extensive investigations. Photographs and recordings captured eerie phenomena, such as levitating objects, furniture moving, and Janet speaking in a deep masculine voice while in a trance-like state. As with most paranormal cases, skepticism ran high. Critics questioned the authenticity of the events, suggesting that the Hodgson children might be perpetrating a hoax. The haunting persisted for months, and the Hodgsons and investigators faced terrifying and sometimes violent encounters with the poltergeist. However, in 1978, as mysteriously as it began, the activity began to wane, and the Hodgson family could finally reclaim their home. The Enfield poltergeist case remains one of the most well-documented and controversial hauntings in paranormal history. Books, documentaries, and films have explored the Enfield poltergeist, sparking debates about its authenticity and the existence of the supernatural. The Amityville Horror, a case that has haunted the minds of many. This is a story of a terrifying home, malevolent forces, and a family's desperate struggle to escape the clutches of evil. Our story unfolds in the small town of Amityville, New York, where a picturesque Dutch colonial house stood, concealing dark secrets within its walls. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue became infamous after the Lutz family, George and Kathy Lutz, along with their children, moved in during 1975. In the span of just 28 days, the Lutz family endured a series of disturbing and unexplainable events that defied all reason. Their accounts included strange noises, mysterious cold spots, and oozing slime on the walls. Perhaps the most iconic element of the house was the sinister eye windows, which seemed to stare out ominously at the neighborhood. The unsettling history of the house deepened the mystery. It was revealed that just a year before the Lutzes moved in, Ronald DeFeo Jr. had murdered his entire family there. The Lutz family's ordeal reached its climax when they fled the house, leaving their belongings behind. Their story captured the attention of the media and the world. Paranormal investigators, including Ed and Lorraine Warren, delved into the Amityville case, attempting to unravel the mysteries surrounding the house. The Amityville Horror case has faced skepticism and controversy, with some questioning the authenticity of the events and others believing it to be a genuine paranormal phenomenon. The Amityville Horror continues to be a cornerstone of paranormal lore, inspiring books, movies, and documentaries. The house itself has changed hands multiple times and undergone renovations, but the legend of the Amityville Horror endures.
Thank you for being part of our horror haunt. Don't forget to subscribe for more spooky tales. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with fellow thrill seekers. Comment below and let us know which stories you'd like to hear in the future. Until next time, take care.